Welcome to Red-tastic. Story 1. Am I the a-hole for not helping my pregnant mom out? My mom is pregnant with twins and has 3 kids under 5. I used to help her out with the kids as much as possible, but moved out last year to continue my college studies in peace and quiet. I don't want to move back home because the house is always chaotic and messy. It is not a conducive environment to study for college, and to be honest, I hate babysitting my siblings. They are poorly behaved, but I guess it can't be helped as they are also very young. My mom and stepdad have begged me to move back home to help out for at least a few months, but I've decided not to because I already made plans to travel around Europe with my friends over my 3-month break. I know they are going to struggle with a newborn and 3 kids, but I think they made the decision to reproduce 4 times in a relatively short time, so they have to deal with it. I do feel a little bad as my mom had me very young and we struggled a lot growing up. She has sacrificed a lot for me. At the same time, I don't understand why she is having so many kids now, after we struggled so much during my childhood. I give her enough money every month to help a little financially, but it's not enough to hire help. Am I the a-hole for not helping her out? Edit. I'm on scholarship and the scholarship program comes with free dorms on campus. I work part-time and earn about $600 a month. From that, I give my mom $250, a budget $50 for transport, $100 for food groceries, and save $200. I have a small savings account right now. I give them money because otherwise they would really struggle and I don't want them to starve. You're not the a-hole OP. Your mom and your stepdad made a decision to give birth to more kids when they already had enough kids to care for. If they were struggling with 3 kids, I don't understand why they thought bringing 2 more kids into the mix was a smart thing to do. You're not a third parent. You're a child who has a life, and your mom asking you to move back in to help her care for the kids she chooses to have is unfair to you. Don't feel guilty anymore about not moving back. Help out when you can, but remember that the kids are not your responsibility. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. Your mom and stepdad are in a pickle with childcare, but they can't simply expect that you would move back without a conversation beforehand. A conversation which you could also reasonably turn down the request. You are going to feel bad, but if you tethered yourself to the chaotic environment, you'd likely feel resentful too. Maybe the step-parent has another family member who can step in. Shouldn't automatically fall on you. Not the a-hole. You already contribute more than they could expect to make their struggle less by sending money. Plus, your undisturbed education right now is essential for your remaining life. Not your kids, not your decision, not your responsibility. You could offer babysitting once the kids aren't breastfed anymore, or maybe out of diapers if you're uncomfortable with that. Like once every quarter or 6 months for one evening so they could have couple time if you'd feel bad about it, or want a closer relationship with your siblings. But you're not obliged and they better be thankful as F about it. Not the a-hole. Absolutely not. Not the a-hole. You are a launching in process adult sibling to these kids, not a third parent. Your mother did what she was legally obligated to do as a parent for you, her child, just as she is legally obligated to do for these children herself. If there is any obligation on your part, it is twofold. To set yourself up for success, and should you choose to have children of your own in the future, to pay it forward by raising them well. A child is never an investment for a built-in return on that investment. Never, never, never. That makes a mockery of family. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for wanting a trip to the fair without my stepson? So, some background. My 25 males, girl 25 female, and I have been together for 2.5 years. She has an 8-year-old son from a previous relationship. We just had a daughter in December of last year who's 9 months now. There's a fair that comes to town for 2 weeks every year, always at this time. Google Dixie Classic Fair. I've been looking forward to it for a multitude of reasons, one of them being seeing my daughter react to the petting zoo, all the animals they have, and getting to see some unique things. We take her to feed horses about once every 2 weeks because she's completely fascinated by animals. Even cats or rabbits, so we knew large animals would impress her. I want to get to enjoy the fair one time with just the 3 of us, slow walking the fair and getting to spend the day as a date of sorts. Her son is at school on weekdays, so my suggestion was a time when he was still at school. She is pissed at me for this, telling me he's part of the family and we can't exclude him from activities like this. For the record, my suggestion was to go more than once. It is not like I don't want to go with him or don't think he should go. He's just so hyper and is going to want to ride all the rides, which is awesome, and I can't wait to get to do that with him. I just also want one trip where it's relaxing and we get to just experience this with the baby. I don't see anything wrong with us taking more than one trip, one with him as a whole family and one with just the 3 while he's still at school. I'm fairly new to step parenting, so I would like advice. Am I the a-hole for this? Is there something I'm missing? As long as you're not trying to exclude your stepson and you meant it when you said you would take him with you the next time you go, then I don't think you're an a-hole, OP. You probably really just wanted to experience a trip to the fair with your 9-month-old, and I don't think that's a selfish ask. Your wife doesn't understand why you would want this, and I get that too. Because to a lot of people, it does sound like you are excluding your stepson. I would advise you to take your stepson first and enjoy the fair with him, and then take your daughter, or just do it the way your wife wants and go with all the family. Now for some comments. No a-holes here. I'm going to go against the trend here. I have 2 kids that are different ages. Through the years, we've gone to events like the fair with one, both, and neither. The experiences with each of them is unique, and I see nothing wrong with you. Her and the baby doing a stroll through and then going again, or later the same day with the son. You're the a-hole for trying to implement a 2-tier family system, your real family and the one with your stepson. He probably is a handful. 8-year-olds are. Your daughter will probably be a handful someday. What will you do? You'll parent her and understand this is a stage in her life that requires more care and attention and love. Or I hope you will. So do it for your stepson, your daughter's brother, and your wife's son. This is your family. Going against popular opinion, but I will say not the a-hole as long as you take your son for his own special day. I don't think that is showing favoritism. The significant age difference and interests means someone will have to sit out with your daughter while your son is running around, or he'll be bored and whiny around the animals. Also, your daughter isn't even a year old. She probably will only be able to be at the fair for a few hours, where your son might want to spend a lot longer. My parents would often take me and my siblings on special dates separately, but they always made sure it was fair. Story 3. Am I the a-hole for calling HR? To begin, I firmly feel I'm not the a-hole, but I have numerous co-workers stating the opposite. A little backing to the story. I work for a large corporation. For the past few years, we have been all about diversity and inclusion. One woman whom I work with refers to herself all the time as a person of color, and constantly mentions diversity and inclusion in almost every meeting we have. I just need to state my opinion as a person of color and a female. I'm all for diversity and inclusion, but as you can probably tell, I'm a little bit annoyed that the same person is always shoving it in our faces. This brings me to earlier today when Mrs. Diversity and I, and one other were giving a presentation for about 50 people. Me and the other guy, call him Steve. If you are reading, hey Steve. had important work-related updates, and Mrs. Diversity talked about speaking up as a minority and a female. She went first, followed by me and followed by Steve. Steve never presented before and was fumbling his words and having a hard time reading the screen. Mrs. Diversity saw this and announced to the room, "Perhaps he's having a hard time reading due to the glare coming from Baldy McFatass's head." And the room blew up in laughter until they all saw my face. And the room got quiet very fast. I stood up, shrugged my shoulders and said, "Diversity and inclusion, huh?" I stormed out of the room into my manager's office and vented to him. He told me to calm down and not call HR and that it was probably a joke not made to be hurtful. So I did, until Mrs. Diversity showed up at my desk in what I assumed would be to apologize. And if so, I would probably feel a lot better and move on. No. However, this was now again about her, and she doubled down by telling me to get over being bald, and that it isn't the same thing as being a person of color and blah blah slavery, blah blah systematic blah blah. Keep in mind, I never mentioned me being bald was comparable to other things. Only the fact that I am sensitive about it and not to be made the butt of a joke. She didn't back down, so I called HR. Now everyone is pissed and I'm the a-hole because HR is going to have to investigate. I'm just sitting here like, if you are going to be an ambassador for diversity, you better damn well walk the walk. I'm so fired up still. In closing, had this comment been made in a small group of friends, I might not have cared. I did in fact start losing my hair at 16, and it killed my self-esteem from 16 until around 25 when I shaved my head, hit the gym and grew a beard. But the wounds from it are still there. So I'm not the a-hole. Change my mind? Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. It's work. Never ever comment on somebody's appearance. The only exception is drastic weight loss and a simple, "You look great," is where it ends. People often get mad at me because I don't comment on haircuts, clothes, shoes, etc. I would rather be safe than sorry. Commenting on hair loss is inappropriate and she should know better. Not the a-hole. There is nothing I hate more than colored individuals who use their skin color as an excuse to be insensitive and an a-hole to others. By doing so, they are the epitome of everything they say they stand against. Like when colored individuals are racist to other races, but say it's not possible because that doesn't exist. But, you still have no right to be an a-hole just because you are a colored individual. Just respect one another. What's so hard about that? By the way, I'm a colored person. Everyone sucks here. She's mean. If you had written a straightforward post about a coworker doing this to you in a meeting, I would have given you a not the a-hole. But instead you spent 5 paragraphs complaining about her completely legitimate habit of focusing on diversity and standing up for herself as a person of color. You don't like this lady. You didn't like her before she commented on your baldness. It's fine you called HR, she was out of line. I just hope you're prepared to be found equally culpable for escalating a situation. You owe each other apologies.